Hello there. Welcome to EverPALS.
Welcome to EverPALS, everybody.
You don't know it, but I played some new music there.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. You have to find
Not
out what it is
like
later.
not our normal mediocre
N-
music.
Not our normal music. Not the one we played at the first of season 2. Something brand new. I think you'll
Hmm,
like it though.
okay. Is it Bard-esque?
It is Bardisk.
Oh,
It is kind
okay.
of
Well, then
Bardish.
would Didgeridoo like it?
Um, I think Didgeridoo would want a little more flamboyance in it, but I think he could
Hmm,
like nod his head a little bit.
all right, all right. Didgeridoo, for you guys that don't know, was my Bard on our D&D campaign.
Wasn't just a bard.
No, he was the most flamboyant and
Yes, flamboyant, loving bard. I
you
think
could you could
he visited a brothel, didn't he?
raging homosexual he
Yes.
was.
Yeah. In his endless quest to find the skin flute, which he never did
He, he,
find, fortunately.
he never did find it, unfortunately.
I mean, he found some skin flutes, but not the one he was looking for.
Not the one he was looking for.
Okay. Um, so you said it's okay. It's been a while. It's been what, a
It's
couple of
been
weeks,
2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. Okay, time is flying. But I'm having a lot of fun. Are you having fun?
Oakwynd has only been out officially like a week and a half, and yeah, I'm having fun. I kind of
Okay.
miss you.
Yeah, we kind of desynced a little bit. Um, we
Well,
were,
desynced and then restarted, and
yeah, but there was a restart involved. Yeah. I feel like if I didn't have the restart, we could have been grouping by now. But
maybe
um,
yes,
yeah, so you talked about making Flexen the Warrior, and you did that. And I talked about making Yarnix a Rogue. I did that.
you did
We
that
grouped together for a while in like
the first
North
couple
Row,
days.
and yeah, first little bit. And then I had to go back to work, or I had something going on, and you wanted to like really get the levels before you had to go back to work, right?
Right, I was on what I would say a mini vacation. I had like 5 days off, and my goal was
Mm-hmm.
to get to 46 before I had to go back to work. And I
I don't
think
think,
what I got to like 43 or 44 or something. And then
yeah.
I came back that day and I got the last 2 levels before our first unofficial raid in the guild.
Yep.
So yeah, I went hard. I think somebody asked me at work. I think I probably played 50 or more hours those couple days.
But you made a Ogre Warrior, but you did get a Dark Elf illusion.
I did.
Good
Out
for
of
you.
you know what? Did I tell you what I did?
No, I didn't know the situation. I just know you got it.
Well, we were doing the assassins camp. Dracoko was there with me. And the first mask dropped that I had seen, and I was a giant ogre in this little corridor, and I wasn't
Yeah.
able to help pull. I wasn't able to help really do anything because I was just so massive, right? And I had complained, making a couple jokes here and there about like, I can't wait till I get this mask. I kind of need it for shrink. It's
Right.
it's actually important to me as a warrior being an ogre because I can't run around. you know,
Yeah.
I'm just oversized at this point. And the somebody spoke up when the mask dropped. Somebody in the group that we had, a super cool group, day 3 or whatever. Somebody spoke up and was like, just let the warrior have it. We're gonna see more of these.
So yeah, somebody
And
already speaking up. Yeah, Coco was on your side for sure. You had you,
Coco was, yeah,
right?
and I was like that. I mean, that's what EverQuest is about, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion. Seeing who needs what and making sure the most important person who needs that item gets it.
Right.
In for maybe lack of your own needs. So I ended up tossing that person who spoke up a Chrono just for being cool and speaking up for me. Because I wasn't
So
going to speak up. I was just going to roll on it, So
so did they give it to you?
yeah, I ended up getting. That's how I got the mask.
Oh, okay. So if anybody wants to get free Chronos, just go to Pogan's group and just say, yeah, you can have the loots.
Well, I was feeling generous, but
Yeah,
yeah,
very very nice, very nice. Yeah,
but
I
yeah, that's
haven't
like I said. That's what the game's about. That guy
for
probably wasn't
sure.
expecting a Chrono either,
Right.
but yeah, he's probably very thankful to help start off his
Yeah.
Oakwynd career with a chrono as well.
So, like, what kind of gear are you looking for at this point? Or are you just waiting for raid gear?
So what am I, like 47, almost 48? I
Right.
should be really 50 by now, but I went so hard last week that I'm trying to take a little bit of a break this week.
Okay. You
Um,
did leave Tootin in the dust.
I did leave Tootin in the dust, but he's still ahead of Polly.
He is. Polly just got 20 today. I got level
So
20. What level is Tootin?
26.
Okay. Well, we can group now. So
Yeah.
that might be fun.
But yeah, so for flexing, I've got my weapons. I have Indiclite armor,
Oh, nice. Okay.
and I am looking for a couple of that plane of hate armor, so like chest piece and legs and stuff. But besides that, I'm all good on my weapons. I got yaks with gems in them, so
You got platinum fire emerald wedding bands?
no, I'm just waiting for Kara to just give me those.
Okay. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
I just got some gems, and I think it was like flame agates. And I noticed, I was like, oh, I'll give these to Kara. And then I went to start selling my stuff, and I was like, there's 7 plat each. It's like, no, I'll give them to Kara. I'll give them to Kara. So,
Yeah, was I telling you this or not? That I just feel like, if you're the tank in the group, that people should just be giving you the pots that you need for raids and, the resist.
oh, yeah. The life of a tank is a rough one. You die more
Yeah,
than anyone else. I mean, if you're doing your job right, you die more than anyone else. You're the most gear dependent class of the game. And, if you don't show up, shit doesn't happen. I mean, like, if the
right.
cleric doesn't show up, it makes it a little more difficult, but it can be worked around. If the tanks don't show up, nothing's happening.
Exactly.
Yep.
And yeah, I was telling a couple people, I don't know who, but they were like, "Are you bringing your pots to the raid?" And I was like, "No, if they want me to have pots, they'll just give them to me."
Yep. I mean, I get that it makes it easier to have all those things, but we're 2 weeks into the server. Let's not stress. Let's just have a good time. So
You know what? That's a good shout. I really want to stress that as well. Part of me has that FOMO, that fear of missing out,
mhm.
where I really need to be level 50. I am 3 levels away. Why am I not level 50? The
Mhm.
guild said they weren't letting me tank until I was level 50. But why am I stressing out about it? I don't really
No,
care.
no, you'll be all
I
right.
should I'll get the 50. I got 2 months left of this shit, right?
Right, right. I mean, like I talked about doing classic raids, and even if I don't raid until Kunark, then I'll still do most of the classic raids. You're still going to be going to Planet Sky. You're still going to be going to Hate and Fear, for all the epic drops. And so I'll get it at some point.
You'll get it. And if you don't get it with a guild, you'll get it with me.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the journey. Um, had some really good groups, both on Yarnex the Rogue and Polly the Cleric. Honestly, I'm really digging the Cleric. It's chill. I still feel like I'm min maxing. Um, I can tell that I'm making a difference in the group. So I kind of like it.
Well, let's touch on that real quick.
Yeah.
You grouped with me up to what, maybe level 20 or so,
Hmm.
level 15 maybe, on Yarnex the Rogue,
Yep.
and we got you. The last time I remember seeing you was in Unrest, which means you were well on your way to getting levels in Unrest. We gave you a whole bunch of ringmail armor.
Yeah, I got my ring alarm.
You traded a scepter of Rahotep for a
Hugus.
Puigus, yep.
Yep. And then
And
Dercoco gave me a serrated bone dirt. So I
he
got.
gave you a rogue dagger
Mhm.
from
Haven't even used it.
Lower Guck. Didn't
Yep.
even use it.
Haven't even used it.
What happened?
Yarnex is not going away. So, but Yarnex, the whole reason originally, I remember I was going to do a ranger and a cleric, and I was like, Rangers, they're going to ask me to pull, they're going to ask me to tank. I don't want to do that. I want to kind of
Oh, that's
sit
what
back.
happened.
That's what
I'm not
happened.
interrupting. You were pulling on the rogue and you were like, this sucks.
Sucks. Yep. So I was like, I could be a wizard because like that Inigo and Zami's both of them has wizards or did at the time, and they said, "Oh man, the wizard's the life for me. You know, you just sit back, you don't have to do anything." And so I was thinking about like, well, what's a class that has one job and does it well? Cleric, because even shaman or even druid has other responsibilities. So here
Right,
we
you're
are.
not just debuffing and healing, you're dotting as a druid, or you're slowing and healing and dotting as a shaman, but as a
Right.
cleric,
Just
heal.
heals, just heals and buffs.
Okay. Oh,
Now I did today, this morning, we had two clerics in the group. I thought he was a druid at first, but he turned out to be a cleric. And in Unrest, I was doing undead nukes. Pretty good too.
so you decided to change,
Yep.
and now you're actually liking it.
Oh, I'm really liking it.
Now, here's a
Yeah.
question, because
Hmm.
my dad originally played a cleric, and I have my own thoughts about clerics. Um, most main clerics are like some guy's wife in a raiding guild,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
It's like the stereotypical woman, like, I will help heal you class and role.
I mean, look back at
Um,
Pals. You didn't really see that a lot in Pals. You know, like Band Aid and Cannabis. They're both guys.
they right, but I
No,
think
I get you. I get you. I
the
totally do.
general consensus,
Yes.
right? So, it which would, not to hurt anybody's feelings here, but that would lay to the fact that it's a really easy class to play. Is that something that you like, or are you going to make it more difficult by trying to be like a battle cleric or do more than the normal, run of the muck EQ Raider's wife cleric in the
I don't
guild?
think so, but I think like it'd be the kind of same thing of being a wizard. Yeah, as a wizard, you could just use your most powerful nuke and just press that button until you run out of mana, right? Or you could be like, let me see how many mobs are there. Which range should I use? You know, let me look at like what resists are. Use the most mana efficient stuff. So I feel like what I see happening is being the most effective healer that I can be. And that way, you know, the groups don't even have to think about healing. They don't have to worry about what's happening. It's just like makes everything smooth. I'm just like in the background, just making everybody happy.
Yeah, a cleric that's always good on mana is really nice to have. So,
And I'm kind of looking forward to if she wants to play it, Kara playing the enchanter alongside
mhm.
my cleric, with you tanking, and then Inigo. I think he might keep his monk
Okay.
like that
What's
four.
Kara doing? What's Kara doing with the bard?
Kara's
I
playing
haven't
the
asked her.
bard. She's got fine plate on the bard. Got him all decked out and everything. I think she's liking it. I don't know if that's going to be a main, but she also has a druid and she has a mage. So she's gone all out. She has like 5 or 6
Okay.
characters now.
Wow. Love to see somebody really taking Oakwynd by the wings here.
Yeah, yeah, she's rolling in, but she's still raiding on Mangler. Like she was just raiding the other night. I think part of why she was kind of disappointed with Mangler at the time. It's the broken mirror, and she said like this is the expansion. I think she said this morning, where EverQuest kind of gave up, or didn't really work as hard to make the expansion as good as it could be.
Everything in the broken mirror and on is like copy paste. So there is, actually, it's funny you said that. There is a zone in, they just posted it in the mess channel, in this new expansion.
Mhm.
And its map is literally the exact same outline to a map from 4 expansions prior.
Oh, jeez. And they named it something else, and like nobody's gonna know.
Yeah, it's let's see here. Oh, I wonder if I can find it
I
real
don't know
quick.
if I'd
Okay.
recognize it if you said what it was.
It's the Plane of Health and
Yeah.
Wind Song Sanctuary. They are literally, they both of the outlines look like kind of like a flower, or like a rose, a bloomed rose.
Okay.
But each interior like layout is like the exact same. I'll actually send you a picture of this
Jeez.
so you can see it.
But yeah, the other ones are going to be like the Kunark expansion. Then it's going to be the Velis expansion. It's going to be the Luckland expansion, right?
Yeah, exactly that.
Jeez.
Uh, yeah, so they're gonna redo Frontier Mountains. They're gonna redo um, Nurga and Draga. I think just rinse and repeat.
Well, the other day you were talking about, oh, I might go back to Mangler, but is that an appeal to you to like keep playing at Mangler, or are you not really sure at this point?
Well, I don't know. I definitely
I
want
don't
to
want to put you on
take.
the spot there, but
No, you're fine. I definitely want to take this expansion off. I think I have no interest in going to Mangler right now. Um, and I'm just a little bit happier that way. But I do kind of want to keep Pokken going, only because it'd be nice to have like a max level character
right,
that I can jump
right.
on whenever.
So did the level get increased in Broken Mule? Or is it still 105?
No, it didn't. It's still 105,
Yeah,
so
I think that's
I'm not
something that
missing
Cara was
anything.
kind of upset about. Um, including her banked AAs, she only has like what 900 to get for the whole expansion.
Yeah, which you can probably get in a week with her
Yeah,
play schedule.
right. There's
So,
play schedule, right? So,
so I just sent you a picture real quick if in your
oh, I see.
Discord
I
messages.
see
If
that.
yeah,
Let me look.
that's the same. Those are two different zones.
It's like a butthole. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of does look like a butthole.
Yeah.
But those are two different zones, and it's the exact same map.
And then it's Windsong Sanctuary and Plane of Health.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah. It's just yeah. Okay. That's
So can you? I mean, can you
lame.
tell? You're not trying anymore at that point.
Nope. And you didn't
So I
even
can
really
totally.
try. It wasn't like a long, lost, forgotten expansion. It was fairly recent.
Like, yeah, Windsong Sanctuary is from I believe Vales of Alaris, which was just 3 or 4 expansions ago.
Gotcha. So,
So
what we hit on? We hit on
well,
the whole Yarnex poly main change, flexing
yep.
getting close to low 50. What else is going on?
Well, I was going to ask you what you thought of Oakwynd.
I, I kind of talked about it in my stream this morning, and I was running from Butcher Block over to Unrest. Somebody asked a question, right? I can't remember the exact question, but they said, "Who like Can I buy bags in Neriac?" And the
Sure.
troll thing to say is yes, right? But that's not what these people did. They said, yes, you can. Go here to the foreign quarter. You should see this person. Look for merchants. Like they gave him like the full thing, and I was like, wow, this is really great. And then about 30 seconds later, somebody said, this is what I love about this server. Gold star to X, Y, and Z person for doing it. I was like, this seems like a really nice community. So I just really feel that it works well with the first engage mechanic. There are problems like the Orc Centurion, but for the most part, it all works. And then there's no power leveling. Groups are plentiful, and people are in general nice, which is great. What about you?
Um. All right. Well, I did make some pretty hefty statements in our previous podcast
Mm-hmm.
about my thoughts on Oakwynd and the first to engage. They managed to put it out, albeit with some kinks still related, right?
Right,
So not perfect, but it hasn't affected my gameplay as of yet. Um,
right. Mine either.
it has made it a little bit more difficult, I guess. I was trying to kill some mobs for Kara and Inigo the other day, and they had a yell so I could attack it and stuff. But
Yeah, but that's working
all
as
it,
intended, though.
right, it is working as intended, but also like just like all around, like I can't really even tell that first to engage has like any impact.
It did
I
impact us
did
day
notice.
one. Remember that the skeleton spawn.
Uh, oh, it did. Yep, that the spawn taking a couple seconds
Mm-hmm.
before you can tag it. Yep, that did affect me. I did see a couple trains like run through my camp occasionally, like in Unrest when we
Right.
were in the main room there. A train just goes, and then they like as long as I didn't aggro any of those mobs, like I was safe, and that was really cool. Because normally that's like a zone wipe, if you
Right.
pull
Right.
from
Right.
fireplace. But reading the forums, some I guess people just didn't like it, and it was really bad for them too. I don't know exactly the problems that people were having, but there's like one where it says like, "Hey, we gave first to engage a shot. Can you now just disable it until you guys got it working again?"
Really? Uh,
I
and
did
okay,
hear about power leveling. I did hear about power leveling in Soul A.
right.
People power leveling there.
Yeah, I
So
saw him recruiting this
uh,
morning, levels 1 to 33. It's very specific. Do you know
I,
what's going on there?
I don't know for sure. I just like obviously first to engage has not prevented power leveling from happening either. Um, but again, nothing that I have noticed that affects me like in the least bit, right?
Right.
So with that, I like the server. Um, However, one thing I'm noticing is a lot of people stuck to their words, and they did not make a character on the server, or they left the server very fast because something we talked about yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oakwynd has made what medium.
You said they broke a record or something like that. I was like, oh man, that's great.
I
I was
don't
all excited,
I
and
don't
then
know if
then yeah.
I don't know if it's a record, but they dipped to medium population was within the first week of launch, which I think it takes like usually until like Luckland or Plains of Power for a TLP to dip to medium
Right.
population. So I don't know if they're correlated with first to engage or whatever, but it seems like I can't find a group sometimes. I don't know if I know you've only been grouping with people that we know, but
Well, no, I
what
mean
have you seen?
with Yarnax, that was part of the reason. A Rogan Classic is not well desired, and with the cleric, I have to wait maybe 5, 10 minutes, and I'll get a group eventually. But yeah, getting groups has been difficult for people. There's all the big places have a lot of people, but not like it was on Thornblade or not like it was on Mischief. I think people are still playing Mischief. What expansion are they in now? Are they in Gates at Discord?
Mischief?
Yeah,
Oh no, Mischief
Omens.
is in like TSS and
Oh shit,
beyond,
man.
Secrets of Fadebear or some shit like that.
Oh, wasn't there like another one?
Yeah,
Um,
it was Yellow
Vanicki and Yelanak. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, correct.
gotcha. They're in Gates of Discord, I think. But I'm thinking there'd be a resurgence once the true box goes away.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe they just count everybody who's 3 boxing characters.
Maybe, yeah. I don't see
Do
the.
you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
uh, Do you think Diablo 4 has something to do with it?
It very much could. I didn't even think about that. I haven't played any of that. And then, I mean, slightly related. Dracoco was talking to me about a different game called uh, Embers Adrift.
Embers Adrift. Yep.
Yeah, and I said, "Is that a firefighting simulator or wildfire simulator?" And he said, "No, it wasn't. It was like an EverQuest game." So,
Yeah,
but
I am. Besides, well, so I don't really think like the population is all that low. Let me just put that out there. I
doesn't
just
feel that way,
you can tell it's not like a thick server,
right?
and yeah, that kind of sucks because you're only going to lose people. You want as many people to start off as possible. So,
Well, I
um,
remember Serpent Spine. I really enjoyed that. Uh, I really enjoyed that expansion. So people from Mischief, I don't think they're going to be leaving. But after that, isn't it Secrets of Fadewar? Isn't that what comes afterwards? And you might get people leaving Mischief to um, start playing on Oakwynd when we get to like Velius or Luckland. So we might inherit some people from that.
yeah, for sure. No, like I said, it's what we want is we want just a nice healthy server population. Mangler is really healthy
Hmm?
for the expansion that we're in,
Yeah.
the Broken Mirror, there's still like 6 raiding guilds,
Right.
but it's a ghost town, when you when you're running around. So it kind of feels like a live server when you're in, I don't know, Subalus or something. If you see somebody else there, you're like, holy shit, another
Right.
person
Right.
exists in this world. But yeah, besides that, no, I'm the server's great. I'm having fun. The people are nice, like you were saying. Um,
Because I haven't really
what do you think of
experienced the end game, not the high level rating, not rating, high level grouping. I haven't really gone beyond like level 25. So you've been down in the hole. Are people like really contesting camps, or is everybody kind of getting along?
No, everybody has been getting along as much as I could tell. I did have some problems in Soul B with like a 6 boxer, but what are you gonna do? He was 6 boxing,
Yeah, it's going to happen occasionally.
and I beat him to a first to engage mob. So what is he gonna do? Report me because I'm faster than him?
Well, I know that EverQuest or Darkpaw Games does not recognize camps. The whole part of the
That's
first engage is like if you're first engaged, then it's yours.
right. Well, him and I both knew that mob was gonna be there.
Oh, okay. But
And
yeah, I was
then
talking
when
to
we
some
were
guy yesterday. I was actually on the stream, and he said he's been playing, hasn't played in a while, and he said it's been like 4 or 5 years. And he came back, and I said, "What brought you back?" And he said, "I just kind of caught something." But he said, "I'm really looking forward to the 25th anniversary TLP." And I was like, "Oh yeah, my I do a podcast." And he was like, "Oh, that's you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Thad Yarnex." And I said, Pokin actually talked about it or spoke about it where he said, what rule set you'd like. And it was the exact same rule set that, I don't know if he listened to the podcast or not, but he said that would be a really cool one. Is where you can have
well,
any class race combination. So
I
maybe
like
people are
that
waiting for
guy.
that.
He's got a great mind.
That's what I told him. I was like, oh, you can hang with us.
For
But the other
sure.
thing is, the cherry on top would be the free trade along with it.
Free trade. I
Free
think that's
trade.
what we're all hoping for. The biggest thing that I've run into, I think, grouping wise, is a picture I just sent you in your messages there. I got a whole group. I think this was yesterday actually.
Oh, yeah. This is the one you were talking about.
And the half the group was a guy 3 boxing,
Right.
and he wasn't doing very fantastic.
Yeah.
But the druid in the group, he wrote, "I committed EQ sin by inviting a triple boxer, so I will pull."
So he knew the mistake that he made.
He already knew he fucked up, which is, I mean, that's laughing at yourself, but also that's the kind of presence that's on the server. That
Yeah.
guy, as a druid, he's willing to pull because he's a moron.
Yeah.
Shout out to Frobo.
Frobo. Yeah. See, I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's the
Frobro,
spirit.
but
And then what did the three
that's
boxers say?
he
Did,
didn't say anything. He
yeah,
wasn't paying
exactly.
attention.
Oh,
He's
geez.
too busy boxing.
What classes was he boxing? Or what classes was he playing?
I think he was boxing monk,
Bard.
cleric, and enchanter.
Oh, jeez. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, he was like 80% of our DPS, and he wasn't DPSing like at all. So
Right.
it's
Well,
all good. It's
yeah.
all good.
Does
So
You said there was something
you're
else you want to
next.
talk about? Yeah, go ahead.
I have something I want to talk about today, and I think you and I have talked about it previously. One thing we probably should have talked about before even coming to the server is looking for a guild,
Mm.
and how one does that, and how
Oh, yeah.
one does that appropriately.
So
And
I could talk about what I do or what you do, maybe, and then we could talk about what you really should do.
let, let's talk about what we did
Right.
and maybe how to improve upon that.
Okay. Do you want me to go first? You want to go?
Sure. So you work pretty late on at into the evening, right?
Yep.
So we know that you like a later rating Pacific time. Not to dox you, but you're Pacific Coast, right?
Yeah.
So
No, people know.
you and I are both Pacific time for the most part,
Yeah.
and we looked for a Pacific rating time guild.
Yep. Preferably
And
like
then
6 p.m. or later. Yep.
correct. I also work at the front of the week where I can't raid Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday almost at all. So we
Right.
looked for something that is more available on the end of the week scale.
Right.
People are very nice. They post charts and stuff with raid
I didn't know
times.
that existed.
In the did you see my link when I sent it to you?
No, no, I found out it existed once you told me, but before then I didn't know
Oh,
about it.
yeah. In the if you go on the forums for the EverQuest forums TLP page, you'll see people have like a list of all the guilds. You can go on Reddit. You can go on the EverQuest Discord. There'll be people posting their Discord links and raid times, and you just keep an eye out until you can find a guild that meets your schedule, right?
Yeah, that's like
And that's
the
what.
number one thing. That's the thing you can't change, or at least I can't change. I work Monday through Friday from approximately 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So I can't really deviate that. I can't be home at 3 p.m. on a weekday for like a East Coast guild. So time is number one factor.
And so that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that there was a guild that met our qualifications, and we kind of just said that we'll join the Discord and talk to them kind of like a week before the server launched.
Yep. Dip our toes in the water. Check it out.
And there's other ways to do it.
Yeah.
um First of all, a lot of these players, if you've played on other TLPs, um it's the community's pretty small, so you can always ask around.
Mm-hmm.
um but more than likely, if somebody's leading a raiding guild, they've probably led one before.
Right.
You can absolutely 100% do your research and see what kind of person the leader is. Is he a scumbag? Is he not? Who knows? Ask around. If they have criteria that relates to loot, most of the game revolves around loot and
Right.
epics
Right.
and stuff, especially early game. You may want to read what kind of loot they're going to be doing. If they're going to be doing a DKP system.
Loot
What's the one
council.
that's really popular
That's
on?
not
Oh yeah,
popular.
Loot Council. What's popular on Mischief right now?
Oh,
Pay
platinum. You
uh,
have to pay
plat
money.
raids.
Plat raids.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you pay money for your items, and then all that money goes into a bank account, and then handed out at the end of the raid,
Right.
which is pretty
That's
cool.
really interesting. Because it's free trade there, so it's kind of like because otherwise you could use your DKP and then sell it off for chrono.
Correct.
So basically, you're paying the platinum to offset the idea of selling it for chrono, which yeah, it works for that server with free trade.
Well, a couple of people that are still on the Mischief server say they make like 2 chrono a night, a raid night.
Yeah, but you can make that, but then you'd have to eventually cash it in to earn platinum to upgrade your gear.
Well, no, they're making 100,000 platinum or whatever, and they're buying chrono with it, so they're making like that much money in plat.
Yeah, but like how much is gear going for?
Well, yeah, that I don't know, probably a chrono per item.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, I'd like to, if any of you listeners, play on Mischief, especially somebody that we've maybe known in the past, send us a message. One of us, both of us, say something in the Discord. I'm going to actually provide the actual Discord link, not the link tree thing. I'm going to put the actual Discord link. That way, you know where to find us. I'll put all that stuff there because I feel like people see that link tree thing and they think it's like a virus or something. They don't want to click it. So I'm going to put the
Oh,
Discord in there. So maybe you can join and tell us because I'd like to talk to somebody about that.
for sure. Um, Now here's a question for you.
Yeah.
You join a guild, you think everything's gonna go good, and maybe you don't like the people.
Right.
Do you stick it out?
Depends who the people are. If the people are leadership, officers, and guild leader, no, you do not stick it out. You get out of there quick and you find something else while there's still an opportunity to do so. If it's just a random person, I mean, like in PALS, there were people I didn't like, but they weren't officers, they weren't leaders. And usually they'll either phase themselves out or you can completely ignore them and it won't affect how you interact with the game.
So that's usually it. I would say there's a couple people that you cannot mute in Discord,
Right.
and that would be officers. You cannot have officers muted. Um, that is for raid info
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And I don't think you can
I muted an officer
mute
in
like.
PALS before.
Well, I'm sure you
It
did.
wasn't you, but I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember who it was. Keep going, I'll see if I can remember.
I think you might be able to mute most of the player base, but somebody who helps gives directions and stuff, or helps run loot, or helps runs your DKP, you probably can't mute them either. So if you don't like those people, the people that you're grouping with, the people that you're raiding
Mm-hmm.
with, I definitely think that you should probably get out of that guild. Um,
Yep.
what's some things that are big turnoffs for you with guilds besides obviously their raid times and loot?
Just like leaving people in the dust. And I know that, not, I guess maybe it's a marketing thing. Like, if you're going to be a hardcore rating guild that is like, you must be level 50 by this amount of time, or we're not even going to associate with you, or like you're not going to feel part of a club, um, then just market yourself as that like min maxing hardcore guild, and don't call yourself a semi casual guild. Semi casual to me means everyone's invited to the guild. Like you not being able to tank at level 40, whatever you were. You know what? If you die, you freaking die. Who cares? Just give somebody a chance to show what they can do because it's fun for you, right? Like you were really looking forward to tanking that stuff, and not be so strict. But it's a really fine line for me. The difference between like a family guild where you have people watching Netflix while they play and everybody wipes versus a hardcore guild. And if you like get up and take a piss, you're gonna get yelled at. So it's somewhere in between those.
Yeah, I like personally, and I think you're pretty much the same way. We are all about helping each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that you, me, and Ego and Kara have grouped together, even Dracoco or whatever, if it's not an item for you, if it's not an item for me, hey, can we log on your third box
Oh,
and give that to
100%.
your character? Like
100%.
we are making sure everything gets used. We're making sure it goes to the right person. Um, Dracoco was talking about making banded armor. I was like, hey, Coco, here's a chrono for you. Like get started because your armor is only going to help me out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like let me give you $10 and like let me see what you can do with that money because I'm not making armor. you know
You don't like
um
doing trade skills. You only did it because
I'm
you
not
had to as a rogue.
right. But all that stuff is only useful to you, only useful to me, useful to Kara, and I shouldn't, you know, I'm not gonna like not hand you my mats and I'm gonna go cash everything in for plat and then just look after myself. That's not fun.
Well, I get with the new
So
guild, there's going to be like some trust that needs to get built up. But if somebody in the guild saying like, I want to be that guild trade skill person, like I know Dracoco would 100% be that person. Just start shipping them the mats. Not now, don't give them everything, but start throwing them, trickle more and more, and as they start putting stuff out, put more and more trust into them. But anyway, I didn't want to make it too too personal, but
oh no, I mean this is what it's about,
yeah,
right?
it is. It's
Because
totally about that.
people
Yeah,
we're not the only people that run into these issues.
right.
Other people are going to run into these issues as well. And it's okay. Now, we have to make sure that they know it's okay. I look for a guild that was pals esque, where it was a family kind of guild,
Mm-hmm.
and we were raiding. And I thought that we were fairly hardcore for a family guild.
Yeah, we were right on
Um,
that edge. We were right on that edge. Um, but there were people that probably should have been kicked out of not of the guild, but out of raids. You probably would have just been better off if they weren't there. Um,
right. Yeah, I can
yeah,
show you logs of people that casted 3 spells for an entire raid night, you know?
exactly. But
So,
there were also those people that were like our leader, like vibe boxing and getting that shit done and getting it done well. So you had like that big range of people. But yeah, I do measure a lot of the guilds according to like the PALS meter.
yeah, and that's a good range of success. I like Mess, the guild I'm in on Mangler.
Mhm.
They are mostly coherent people. The
I was
directions
going
are
to ask you,
given.
what does MESS stand for?
I don't know.
I
I
asked
don't think
Cara and
it
she didn't
stands
know.
for it.
Okay, never
I
mind.
don't think it stands for anything. I think I asked once and nobody
Okay.
really has an answer. So, um, but yeah, no, like I think they are mostly coherent. The orders are given quick and swiftly.
Mhm.
We don't dwell on things. Like let's go ahead and get to it. And if we fail, rinse and repeat.
Yep.
Try again.
Learn from it.
Dust yourself off. Right. Um, I think the guild that I'm on in Oakwynd, uh, I think they have good raid leaders.
Cool.
Um, I'm excited to see how they do with more difficult content. But yeah, it's just trying to figure out who's good at what, and making sure that you're a good fit for that guild, and the guild's a good fit for you.
Yeah, let's see. I had a thought, but I kind of drifted off. Kith and Ken I really enjoyed that. It was really Pals esque. The big thing I liked about Mess is their, excuse me, their no boxes allowed on raids.
Which is
And
really nice.
I really like that. Um, I know some people would be upset because you're saying like, oh, I rely on these boxes to get experience, outside on my own, and so they need to have gear. Um, but and some people could totally box just fine, but a lot of people can't. I'm sure that makes raids go a lot smoother when it's only mains.
I think if you do a TLP once and you give a lot of effort into it and you go through most of the expansions, um, a Tuesday Thursday raid schedule
Mm-hmm.
with a sometimes Sunday raid schedule
Yeah.
works out great for almost everybody. It sucks for me, but it
Yeah,
works out great for almost
it's
everybody.
pretty common. Yeah.
And then on Sundays, if you do a box raid where all gear goes to boxes and you do content from the expansion prior, if you have the
Yeah.
people that are willing to do that, uh, bringing boxes to your main raids should not be happening, and you can still keep your boxes relatively geared with almost current content,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I think that is maybe one of the best schedules that keeps everybody happy. But if you're one of those sycophants or psychopaths that like to bring 3 boxes to every raid and show off that you can, heal
Right.
and DPS and main tank, no, you can't, and not very well. And
Right.
stop doing it.
Right. I did see this. It was a guild on Oakwynd. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of them right now, but they had an interesting system where they said like you just get a pool of DKP, um, and however you want to spend that, whatever character you want to bring to the raid, is where you spend your DKP. So I think that really illustrates the unique thing about Oakwind is the legacy bonus, where you get extra EXP if you already have someone max level.
Oh, right,
So,
right.
you can have a ranger main, you can have a warrior main, you can have a cleric main, and you can bring any of those three to the raid. And then you just have a pool of DKP that you can use that night.
So it's like a salary. You know you're getting paid this much DKP, and however you want to spend it, you can spend it.
Yep. You can spin on any character that you own. Now, it sounds really cool, but the hard thing about that is, especially if you're going to be like a main tank or a healer, and if you can't really swap on the fly. Guilds recruit and have a roster of people that they kind of anticipate are going to show up. You might have like 4 or 5 main tanks that should be showing up, but if they all have like a ranger alt or a cleric alt, and they're like, I'm going to bring my ranger, my cleric tonight. Now all of a sudden you have like 2 warriors. It's going to cause problems for the guild. So it's probably not a perfect system. But it's a lot better than my least favorite DKP or loot handling is loot council. How the fuck does it even work? Have you ever been in a
Well,
guild with a loot council?
sort of.
Okay.
I like loot council only because if you make an effort to show up to all the raids, you make an effort to do what you need to do on raids, and you make an effort to make sure you have some charisma in chat. It works out in your favor, especially if your loot council can be trusted. Now,
Yeah.
the problem with loot council is it becomes buddy buddy. I
Favoritism. Yeah.
think this item should go to Johnny because Johnny's my friend, and I know he'll be there for every raid. And
Right.
then next thing you know, Johnny doesn't show up for 3 expansions.
Or for Johnny, it's like a 10 hit point upgrade, or for Jack, it's a 75 hit point upgrade.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you do it right, I think loot council is great. For instance, like a BOC, a Blade of Carnage in Velius.
Mhm. That's
That
super
should
important
be for a
warrior. Yeah.
a warrior. It should not be going to Shadow Knights. It should not be going to Paladins. I don't want to see a fucking bard
Oh my god, you would.
with a BOC. And with a DKP system, somebody's just gonna say, "Hey, well, you should have bid more." Right?
We
And
had
so
that
if a
for
bard,
pals. We had like restrictions on certain items, and I think that was something you kind of put into the guild, especially daggers and things like that.
right, it needed to be done because why is a bard gonna bid out a rogue on a backstab dagger when there's only 2 backstab daggers that drop all expansion, and it's only beneficial. The backstab is only beneficial for the rogues.
Right, totally.
So yeah, that's how loot counseling should work. But if you have a salary
Yeah,
of DKP
right.
and the main cleric wants to play his Shadow Knight on Thursday night and he wins a BOC over me, I'm gonna be fucking livid.
hmm So I think the best way for DKP or like items to be bid is open bids. Like put it in the out of character or in a special channel, bid channel or something, and just have it open for everybody. Certain increments have to be done. Opening bid of 50 DKP, increments of 10 DKP only. You don't wouldn't want like 51, 52, 53, that kind of bullshit. But that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. There's no issue with like, oh, he didn't bid that, or he did, or he got that for cheaper than all that bullshit. And it speeds things up. You could do that while the rate is moving.
Right. I like open bids as well. I wish more people would speak up though. For instance, we'll use the BOC. If you're doing an open bid and I bid 50 and then the bard bids 60, I would really like people in fucking the guild to be like, hey, no.
Oh yeah.
Whether you think it's your DKP to spend however you want it or not, like you should be shunned for shit like that. And I hope people would mistreat you if you did something stupid like that.
Yeah, no, I'm all for certain items being restrictive. Um, I'm trying to even think. I mean, you could do something like, the first plate gear, because a lot of some have like, I'm trying to think like Planes of Power, the ornate gear. You can say the first plate gear goes to main tanks, like to warriors, and then start distributing those. Now you're not assigning it to one person, but you're assigning it to a group of people. No,
Yeah, I no, I like that too. Um,
well, there's also like
it just
maybe like
sucks
the van
too,
braces that have like improved healing or something on them. Like why would that go to a bard just because they can sing better? Obviously, it needs to go to the clerics, so they can have better heals and keep everybody alive.
right? A lot of that stuff goes out the way later on in expansions, but early on, you definitely need to do restrictions like that.
Yep. Was that the big thing you want to talk about? Is like how to find a guild and what to look for in a guild
Yeah, because that's important,
is
man.
very important. There's
It becomes a topic of conversation in text messages.
It does. We were talking about that. But yeah, time, like when the guild meets, is number one. And then there's places on the forum for it. There's Reddit posts as well. But I just kind of look on the EQ forums, and then yeah, go into the Discord, get a feel for their vibe. But I was a little bit off on the guild that I joined for Oakwynd. That's okay. Um, there's a couple of more that I might be checking out, and you can even form your own guild, which I don't want to do. So, uh, I wouldn't recommend that
Don't
for the average person.
don't you like? Don't you guys have a guild?
We do, we
What's it
do.
called?
She swallowed it. Yeah. How did we come up with that name? I don't remember, but yeah, no one really says anything about it.
You really?
Really?
Oh, I mean, I get people saying shit about my surname all the time.
Oh yeah, cum gun, flexing cum guns.
Flexing cum guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I saw somebody today with a nice name. It was shitted, Shidded, shitted. And then I sent them a tell because I didn't know who they were. I said, "Your last name better be myself." And they didn't say anything back. And then later I saw them run by it. Yeah, it totally was shitted myself. So
Oh man, I thought it was like shitted, but it was like
my pants.
spelled like shithead.
Oh, shitted.
Shitty, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Oh man, yeah. There's a couple good names on the server I've seen so far. I saw ass face butt, something like that.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah, that was pretty
I
funny.
saw No Mercy. Shout out to them. I gave them some uh, bone chips, and then they went ahead and followed me, subscribed to my YouTube channel. It was very nice. A good trade. I traded bone chips for a subscriber. Felt like it was a good trade.
Oh, shout out to the Bard that's still standing AFK at the Bard Guild Leader in East Freeport. Bard Tarded.
I gotta pay them a visit on the stream. I'll check it out. Bard Tarded.
Bar Tarded,
Bard
yep.
Tarded. So they're just sitting there strumming along.
They were there for the first like week mostly. I'm sure they're gone now, but
Oh,
yeah, they were there for a long ass time running around Bard Tarded.
nice. You were kind of
Every
talking
time
about,
I would origin,
yeah, you saw them.
yeah.
Um, we were talking about how Tootin, how he behaves in a group, and you said like a box
Oh
bard.
my god,
Yeah, tell me about that. Come on.
that. Oh my god, no! You had me cracking up so hard when you were saying that. Yeah. So Tootin. Well, all right. I will say that I feel like I'm okay at boxing. I won't say that I don't use any programs or anything, so I could be a lot better if I did
I
that.
think some other
But
people are right now.
I I hard box. I think I box at least two characters really well.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get a third character, um, they become like your least concern out of the two,
Right.
right?
And it better be just like one or
So
two buttons that you push with that person, that character,
exactly.
right?
So when we played on Mangler, I had poking, pounding, and beating the Beast Lord, and Beaton always got stuck on shit. He was always late to the party. He
Mm-hmm.
was always missing hails. Like he just I would always he wasn't beaten anymore. He was just like you dumb fuck.
Right.
I would just call him names, right? So Tootin is kind of like the same, I guess, because he is a different level than Flexin is
Mhm.
right now.
Yep.
So I'm focusing on Flexin playing, my main character. And he's just a bard. He's just playing songs in a group for you guys, right?
Right.
And then he's auto following somebody random, and then you guys are just off running, and Tootin's just back there
Just
singing
playing songs.
songs, wearing a special helmet. Just ah!
We were
Yeah,
having
he's
fun
a
with that.
special needs kid. He's a special needs kid in choir right now.
Like, who's that guy? This is our friend Tuden. Tuden, say hello to everybody. Hey, everybody.
Yeah,
This
right.
is our bard. Please, just let him be.
His Lambert helmet is like one of the special needs
You got
helmets, so he
Lambent
doesn't
helmet
hurt
on?
himself. No, he doesn't.
Oh shit! I was gonna say,
But
who got Lambent gear on that guy? No, he needs the padded helmet. Yeah, but we
he
can.
does.
I know you said you're taking a little bit of a break because you've been playing a lot, but Polly's getting up there in levels, and Yarnik's up there too. Can hang out with Tuden and do some fun stuff together. We've been.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you guys aren't running through levels, even if you guys get to like 30, what, one or two.
Mhm.
What am I, 26? I can group with like level 39. So,
Yeah.
what I mean, you guys have like all your 30s to get into where, Tootin can come and strum along, s- sing sing some terrible songs in the background for you guys.
For the
So,
longest time, I was putting off going to unrest, and then yesterday morning, I was like, "Well, I'll try it out," and got a level in like record time. I was like, I didn't want it to be that good, but it was pretty amazing. And I just leveled
I
Ding 20 there this morning.
I'm gonna warn you. One thing that I noticed on the server, and it's gonna sneak up on you because you guys haven't hit it yet, but that mid 30s to 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Slow.
it's a slug, man. It is not fun.
Well, you went
Um,
soul. No, wait. You went lower Guck, right?
I yeah, let's see. I went to Lower Guck and I got 35 like on my own, and then once you get to like 35, you're able to group up with like a level 50,
Right.
34. I
Right.
think you're able to group up with level 50.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I had a guy um he came out to the assassin camp, and he was a 50 bard, and he was smacking things around for us, and that made things so much easier. Like, he didn't have to yell. It wasn't really a power level. He was
Right.
just killing things. So yeah, once you guys get to like early 30s, I'm definitely able to like uh you know do the same thing with you guys, as long as there's like the occasional heal for me.
You got plenty here.
I
I'll
should
do
be
that.
able to I should be able to taunt things off and beat everything
Well,
up,
what was
and you
your
guys
leveling
can just
path?
kind
So
of.
you went to unrest, and then you went right to lower Guck.
Yep, and then the hole for a little bit.
What level did you leave lower Guck?
Well, really, I wanted to stay in Lower Guck, but I kept getting shitty camps. Like, early 30s, you go to bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
and then early 30s, you want to get to that assassin supplier group.
Right.
And, then like 33 to 36, 37, you kind of want to hit up that executioner, sage, cavalier camp area.
Yeah, that was a safe area.
Yep. And that's really nice. But then once you get past like 36 or 37, it's not beneficial for you to be there anymore. You really need to be over on the other side where the Ham Lord
Lord,
is,
yeah.
and what's the other camp over there?
Frenzy?
Uh,
No, Frenzied Wolf?
Frenzy, yeah, Frenzied. You want to be over that way, and killing the like mobs that are almost level 50.
Do you ever do like Soul
Um,
B in the 40s? Or is that no good?
yeah, you can do. Let's see, you can do Royals
Mm-hmm.
at early, probably late 30s, early 40s. That camp's pretty rough, but because they have healers at that point.
Right.
But you could also do what, bugs and bats. That's
Yep.
pretty hard if you aren't like grouped out appropriately.
Right.
but yeah, that's a good one too.
Okay.
And then you can go all the way up to 50 in Soul B, and you can do the where the Jin guy is. What's
Mhm.
his name there?
Um,
Jarn,
yep. With the
and
Frida boots.
with their 3D boots, and he's got elementals and stuff around
Yeah,
him,
and
and you can do that.
protectors, the imps.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep, you can do
I
that up
just
to like 50.
yeah, I just heard, I know the hole is a place to go. Everyone likes that place, but I like alternative leveling paths. That's why, like,
For sure.
going to Unrest, I was like, man, I didn't want it to be this good. But hopefully, we're going to Soul A, maybe tonight after we get done here. I'm going to ask if they want to go.
I will say, since you brought it up, I like the hole. The hole is good if you aren't like collapsing as a group. If not, it can be really hard. You definitely, I think, need an enchanter for the hole.
Yeah, well,
Um,
got one of those
but
maybe.
this server actually broadened my love for the hole quite a bit. I knew it was like a huge zone, but looking at it on the map and kind of realizing like the thought and um, time that they put into this dungeon,
Right.
um, it has like officially went to like one of my top favorite
Nice.
zones in all of
It's got a
EverQuest
lot of
because
layers to it.
I
Yeah.
so many
Hmm.
layers, and I took a step back. I'm trying to appreciate all the zones I go into now, and yeah, I really like this. The hole is definitely up there now. One of my top favorite zones.
Well, we went in and like had a little fun in permafrost. I was a little late to the party over there for a while before I joined in, but I really enjoyed that. I know we weren't there long once I joined, but it's a zone that I never really leveled dip in. Just kind of went there for the OMMs or whatnot, but I enjoyed that time, and so I want to try to do the same with Soleil.
Yeah, Soleil, just be wary. You may run into a couple power levelers over there training to the zone line.
That's true, but there's always pics of it. Well, maybe there won't be, but we'll see. All right. Well, we've went over the 1 hour mark. That
Wow, see, that was really
that
easy.
flew by. Anything else major? Any other topics you want to hit on?
No.
Okay. Um,
I mean, I always do, but not now.
yeah, I can't think of anything either. I'm just really eager to play a little bit. Um, are you playing tonight? Or are you gonna take off and hang out?
Uh, that is yet to be determined.
Okay, we'll talk about that. We've gotten some text messages from our friends in our group chat. Um,
There, I saw that.
yeah, yeah,
If only they were a fly on the wall.
that's right. Well, we'll get them in here at some point so they can both say hello. We do spend a lot of time with them, so we'd like to let them say hello to all of you. But yeah, definitely. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. I'm putting the Discord link into the description for this episode. Um, so go ahead and join us there. Get on the conversation. From there, you can find my YouTube channel that I post a lot of our fun stuff that we do. It's all with me, but I'm almost always hanging out with my friends if they're online. You can also catch me on Twitch. We're all hanging out there, and you can listen to us talking shit about each other and having fun.
For sure.
But yeah, maybe one day I'll get high enough level where we can see some raid content, or you could start streaming a little bit.
I can.
I think that'd be fun to get like a little dueling stream, little different perspectives for people to watch.
Yeah, you're the far less vulgar version of myself, so
I have my fun, but yeah,
I always feel bad being on your stream
there's no
because I
censorship
feel
on my
like
stream.
there is no censor strip.
No,
But
we spoke about Siamese twins. We had a debate on Siamese twins ethics,
oh my god,
which I brought it up at work.
did you?
I did, but it was not the version. Well, I gotta get it. Not about the domestic violence, but I got into about if a Siamese twin picks up a gun, and the other Siamese twin wasn't aware of it, didn't like walk towards it, and shoot somebody in cold blood, what do you do with the twin that committed murder?
They gotta go to jail.
They gotta go, well, twin A did nothing. They just were attached to the body, where twin B committed murder. So you're imprisoning someone against their will that did nothing to, didn't do the crime.
Correct.
So, we can do the Midas, split them in two, and yeah, exactly. But anyway, we have some fun talks on there. But those are conversations you can join in on. Join into the chat, and occasionally we'll go out into like the public channel where you can like hang out with us and talk with us while you're playing and stuff.
For sure.
All right, I'm about tapped out. I'm probably going to start streaming and talk for another 2 hours.
Wow, so tapped out you are.
Yeah. Well, that one is a little different because I have like shit going on my face. I can talk about stuff going on, but right now I'm just looking at a green, yellow, red bar that's kind of moving up and down.
Oh, okay. Well, I will let you go. Play that outro music if you happen to have it queued up.
Almost. No, I didn't. All right, now I do.
All right. Well, then I am ready if you're ready.
It's playing. So, bye, everybody. See you next time. Thanks for listening.
Bye.